Meet the impeccable John Steed and the fearless Emma Peel, the Avengers. Together, they wrestle the forces of evil with a taste for the outrageous and a passion for uncovering more than crime.
Subliminally, it was quite kinky. I think I always seem to be strapped to a dentist's chair with my feet in the air, and the camera seemed to linger an awful lot of my high-heeled boots.
You. Every once in a while, a television show becomes a hit because it breaks all of the rules. Take, for instance, David Lynch's Twin Peaks, an innovative series with twisted characters, strange romances, and bizarre plots. In the 1960s, we were hooked on a British series that was perhaps more understated, but no less offbeat.
Extraordinary crimes against the people and the state have to be avenged by agents extraordinary. Two such people are John Steed, top professional, and his partner, Emma Peel, talented amateur. Otherwise known as the Avengers.
Critics are calling it outrageous, risque. After 6 years thrilling and delighting English audiences, the Avengers are unleashed stateside on March 28, 1966.
They were extremes. He was the archetypal English gentleman. She, on the other hand, was a prophecy of what woman would become. She didn't mind fighting people, and neither was she remotely apologetic about her achievements.
Underneath was lethal, the dandy, dressing in all those clothes, pretending that he hasn't got a care in the world, and underneath, literally saving people from the tumbrel.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Originally, the Avengers was with two men, and one of the men left, and they were stuck with 6 scripts for 2 men and not much money. And they brought in a woman, and she played a part that had originally been scripted for a man.
One of our best agents was murdered yesterday. His name was Moran. He was shot 6 times and dumped in an alley.
Ostentatious?
Eh?
6 times.
Oh.
Each week, the Avengers attack their duties with relish, finding missing scientists,
Silent dust. Shh.
I won't talk about it.
solving weird murders, and most often wrestling with the forces of evil.
Give me the gun.
The fight sequences were choreographed very carefully. They didn't want me to be biffed.
To carry a gun is the most dangerous thing in the whole world. I wouldn't carry a gun. If you've got an umbrella with a camera in, and you've got a sword, you've got surprise.
There were things to be found, psychological things under the surface, like Hitchcock. I mean, Hitchcock's films appeal on several levels. They're a multi-layered cake. You can either see them as a straightforward thriller, and then you realise there's all sorts of undercurrents, wonderful, nasty undercurrents.
Undercurrents which also raise questions about the relationship between Steed and Peel.
The outsider said, will they ever go to bed together? And I said, well, I think that if you ask me, they've been to bed, and now they can start becoming really relating friends.
Quite often, it is the distance between two people which is the most interesting thing. It's never the clinch. It's always the dialogue before the clinch, or the silence before the clinch. There was never any full stop put on our relationship, and I suppose people found that interesting and beguiling.
Americans are indeed beguiled, and the series is an immediate hit, though not with network censors.
Subliminally, it was quite kinky. I think I always seem to be strapped to a dentist's chair with my feet in the air, and the camera seemed to linger an awful lot of my high-heeled boots.
Mrs. Peel, nice to see you again.
You could show it to your maiden aunt, but if you had a really dirty mind, there was a lot more in it. We tackled all sorts of fetishes and strange things without them ever becoming offensive.
I do recall one episode, I had to do a belly dance. Well, I can't do a belly dance. I mean, I had to approximate a belly dance. In those days, one couldn't show your navel on American television. So I had to stick a jewel in my navel. We couldn't find the right sort of glue. Short of super glue, the jewel kept popping out.
Inevitably, one episode, A Touch of Brimstone, so offends censors, it is banned from the American viewing audience.
I give you the Queen of Sin, Mrs. Peel.
I do remember having to wear this snake on my arm for an entire day. And the snake handler was terribly sweet. He said, you know, he could pee any minute now. And I thought, oh, please, no. I don't need that.
Now, what do you like for the big boys?
When we shot it, she was whipped 5 times. In England, we had to take out 2 of the whippings. And in America, they banned it altogether. But then we found out that the people who banned it, ABC Network, used to run it every year at their conventions.
At the time, we just took it all for granted. We were working so hard, we didn't think about it. But now, they stand up and they're damn good, and I'm proud of them.
I think I'm very lucky because an awful lot of people become famous doing things which they're subsequently ashamed of. And I'm not ashamed of the Avengers. I look back on it very fondly and with much gratitude.
The Avengers went off the air in 1969. It was resurrected as the New Avengers in the 1970s before going into late-night reruns. At different times during the series, actresses Honor Blackman and Linda Thorson also played feisty heroines opposite Patrick Macnee. Diana Rigg is now the hostess of the PBS series Mystery. Patrick Macnee recently finished filming the first part of a TV miniseries on Sherlock Holmes, in which he plays Dr. Watson. And Brian Clemens wrote the script for the upcoming film Highlander 2, The Quickening, starring Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert. Next, the music stops in Sun City.